America, CIA. You don't care that swaths of space science buildings are empty in La Sapienza and around the world after you smashed my head in. And the reason I say my head is that when the intelligence communities bring back Disneyland to prove that, you see, if that girl had invented this shit and hadn't gone to elementary primary schools, middle school, high school, colleges, Martin Snowden, the Flyers, the Runners, the Nobel Prizes, or the Platinum Hairs, connected with globals, I would understand. But I did. I did connect the dots globals. I'm 50 years old. When such ugliness happens and such intelligence of that height of flyers and runners has its head bashed in on your coastlines, 221 is the prime example of a plumb in time through a cliff. The wormhole to the worm, the smashed in head, the loss of intel. When Intel brings back Disney, it does it to one asswipe with a familiar face, even without the number, around the world with the scientists, to show that their losses and why. Now, you always claimed that you are the most intelligent, the strongest. You always claim that the Russians have no intelligence. The Chinese have no intelligence. The Saudi have no intelligence. The Western Europeans have no intelligence. The Woolwich inner circles have no intelligence. I am the blood, the education, and the remnant of that girl. A relic. Madame Tussauds, wax museum, call what you want. Analogy in high school on Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, the element of Mac variance is not Bohr, obviously. So, and it took the highest form of intelligence in the world to figure that out. And in 80 years, they still won't know what the element of Bohr is. Same, like the parents. Okay. Now, the girl was famous for space science. She was famous for breaking that shit. Okay. When you bring back a relic or her own mask, like Clara Quintus and Antwerp and all the others in elementary primary schools would tell you, including Townsend Morrison, the cancer and the space science guys and all that, mathematics, the advanced shit, internationals. They're not going to be wasting the time of intelligence bringing back a dead baby unless the losses were from truth to reality. And they were big, which is old news on the news for the Indioses, connected dots globals. Considering that you knew that there was going to be the Mermaid or Titanic with the Platinum Hairs or without the Platinum Hairs. And she wasn't alone when she was doing the flyings and the runnings. You see, for me to say it as Disneyland is easy. But as a child, I didn't have the chance to express. I did. I had all the pains for that. I was a ghost child. But I couldn't explain it to everybody. They either knew or they didn't. They knew. They knew because they had remembered that that girl had emptied buildings. Okay. And you were so insanely jealous you had to smash her head. Those children keep their mouth shut. They don't flaunt the degrees. they don't flaunt the tits and ass like you do in America. They're dead serious children. That's why Miss Murphy and Ambert used to say to me, "Shit, you're too serious. Lighten up. Please, we can't go through that pain anymore with that ass wipe of yours." Because you only had 147 to 221 left of geological rebirth as Disney. So it's not a question of being a Jehovah's Witness of your own intel or whatever. It's a question of the losses. So, when you take your corn cob out of your ass, not me, and you're best, I'm the best on the coastlines, when you start seeing what losses are in your country on purpose, so you can have your moment of glory, and you find out it's not in a microchip, but in empty buildings around the world that are beautiful of space sciences. Mine. Dirk-Jan van Damme and the Dutch, I didn't like them. Why? Because the Dutch, the lowlands. But the reason they followed me as a child and growing up in high school and in colleges was because they did The Hague. They did Bureau de Veritas. Later came the Roman Tribunal. Also, all in that piece of paper. A child that unfortunately I have to admit by now is a piece of paper. But I've never accepted that. Why? Because I know that if there are empty buildings at Las Vegas and other places in space sciences, and they are my buildings because they're void, and I know that there are people there, scientists who have platinum hairs around the world, that girl did something. Because those are her buildings. Intelligence sometimes, when it sees such hate going to fruition on the coastlines of California, with a head bashed in and beautiful empty buildings, it will join forces with her. Because not everyone had that intel in their own heads as beauties in America. Therefore, when we're saying that Jamila is not running for Miss America or Miss Bennett or whatever, or Red Joan or whatever, they're saying that. So when butt ugly means butt ugly, that's what you want. Okay? Considering I have very little on this planet to live, 147 to 221 is Disneyland. And considering this is a cause célèbre around the world, or news on the news industries, connected to globals, there's a Scotland film to stay out of this country. Why? Because you didn't respect me when I was alive. You will not respect me in Disneyland mode. And you've proven that with your psychopathic stalkers. That's the Roman Tribunal. Psych wards and all the rest. They sued your ass in Fresno and in Frisco. UCLA, psych ward, just turned around and said, "We got a problem with Disneyland, you don't take no medicine." In 2001, after I did the stunt of Villa Eden in Rome. Why? Because I regularly go back on retirements abroad each year and to other states. Even as Disney. Part of Connected Dos Globals and more, much more. So when you start seeing the ugliness, you realize what it is. In San Francisco, you may have geniuses, but nobody here, if you smash their head in, is going to leave swaths of new space science empty around the world, like I did. Buildings. Unfortunately, you have the UN, you have Woolwich, you have Western Europe, where I was born and raised, conceived in Saudi Arabia, with my bloods. That's the old news for the little nails. Connected Dos Globals. If I have to explain this again to your stalkers from Fresno, who are here on my little crawlies at Dolores Shelter, for instance, and your whores, because whore already happened on the coastlines. Smashing the head in of somebody is already considered whore. US. Beyond whore with those losses. Getting Disneyland, we can sue your asses to Kingdom Come and back, also with the Roman Tribunal. So you can keep the filth and the smell. The Ukrainian from Fresno that are federal prisoners in LA, just like all the guys in Dolores. Now, Jodie Foster was in high school. Unfortunately, high school was graduated at 15. Being SpongeBob SquarePants at 14, I passed all the exams with AP, straight A's. Thankfully, the exams were sent to St. George's, to National High School, to Geneva, and to New York State University. Therefore, I got straight A's. You see, this thing about I'm better is one of the sickest entities that you have in the US. It's not a question that you have easy lives. You can't control your bitches, literally. And it's not a question of becoming a fanatic Muslim and covering up the girl, or the Asian way of, treating women, or in Africa, the woman is like, does everything and still has to be good to the man. That's all shit. Nothing has changed in that. We're talking about something else, okay? We're talking not about male and female or hermaphrodite or whatever, it. We're talking about something else, aren't we? We're talking about how you managed to show that hate that way and how stupid it was. Then you said, oh, that was a big one, and we already know that. But I cannot change it. So when they brought me back, they said I was a genetic graft with the nails and that there's many of me, but you cannot reopen your buildings because you had your head bashed in. That's old news on the news for the Indios Group has. Now, that I didn't like the Mossad and that the Brits and others had insider information or worse about that bunks. You don't understand the CIA. You don't understand the FBI. You don't understand the intel communities on the planet. The girl was famous for something else. We know that. But my blood is not Jewish. I'm sorry, IDF Israel. Should I even have the Opus Dei? Satanistic shits. If you want to show your hate to the Disneyland, because I don't think that she's Yemeni. She has a very round face. She ain't Mexican. She could be Jewish. Just like Patricia Vela, who's not her. Mike Langley, who's not him. They are federal prisoners who are 20 years old, extremely high on narcotics and psychos. And they call them the Stalkers. They were born and raised in Fresno. So what are they doing at the Dolores shelter? The Vaya con Dios church shelter. This must be a HUD in San Francisco. Maybe we got to the age of 15. But you see, the innocence of the girl is the void. Your innocence is your assholes. And that's why those guys defended that girl when she had her head bashed in the coastlines and came back as Disneyland. Blimp. You wasted intelligence and you said it was nothing. When you realized that Jamila had been stuck with the president's kids in international high schools in Rome, after her head had been bashed in, not the St. George's phenomena and others, that's when you realized in stupid times there was something behind her. I'm not a slave to presidents. Intelligence is no slave. And if they had a way of bringing back that girl after her head was bashed in and the coastlines were negatives, it's none of your business. Or the Manhattan Project and you get fucking confused. It's the other coastlines. California. To get to such a line, to draw such a line in the sand and still have people deny it in California is disgusting. To make a cause célèbre of empty buildings and space sciences because the girl had her bashed in on the coastlines and bring her back as Disneyland and still have beautiful buildings getting emptier because others are like, what the fuck? That's some fucking phenomenon. You smash your head on the course. I'm sticking by that girl. Why? Because of this. Because of your stalkers. Because of your whores. Because of your hate. Because of your losses. The CIA went on that one too. Why? What the fuck you think they are? Retards? Like you? Of course they have blonde hairs with Jamila. You stupid bitch. Is. So, I am not really that girl. I don't have pretenses, but I can give you the basics. I can give you the Greta Thunberg of Jamila. By now, that's all news on the news. The nails, okay? So, that's not the parents. The parents are born in pioneer camps beyond the capital cities. They're pioneer champions at an early age. They were hired as D2s, D1s, 20 years as D2s, 20 years as D1s for Osro, TCOI, USAID. It was mostly Osro, later on it became TCOI. In the UN, directorates, and humanitarian relief services, work. You see, you don't respect work in 160, 180 countries, 140 countries. Don't speak to me about Junior. Don't start with me. This fairy tale, after the original girl had her head bashed in on the bus lines, for me, is disgusting. Just like it is for the rest of the inter-communities around the capital cities, the universities, and the chancellors that you think are so useless, together with the runners and flyers and who knows what else of that girl, who are with her. So you don't understand that. And because there's this Falkland film, you still don't understand it, because I only have 147-221 left to tell you that. It should have happened already. For Fresno, that you never gave a shit about because you were gods in the US, you have your void on the coastlines and keep your pretenses up your cheap assholes and your PhDs because you saw it coming like a freight train. You saw it. You knew it. The guys abroad knew it before I even had my head bashed in. Therefore, they had prepared the mermaid ages ago. So I'm the ghost of that girl, literally, after her head was bashed in on the coastlines. So don't give me your shit with the Hague, the Bureau de Veritas, and the Roman Tribunal wrapped up in that swipe. I wouldn't be surprised that they made negatives out of that girl because she must have been something out there. So, when you speak about beauty and jealousy and envy around the world, colloquially in 80 countries and 25 states connected dots, globals, and all that speed, you can even call that speed, I personally don't care. It's from the lowlands of the Netherlands. Dirk-Jan van Damme. Hegge. Alright. Yeah. So this disgusting behavior from your girls and boys, I'll give you what you want. You want me to be jealous of your white girls and other girls? I will. Why are you ugly? Why are you physically repulsive? Do you know why? Do you know why you're following me? And they allow you to follow me, even at the Dolores shelter with federal prisoners in LA from Fresno? Why? You're so stupid you don't realize that. Tell me, what do you have to that girl on the coastlines? I mean, what's your relationship to the original Jamila with the empty buildings? Because you are whores. For free. No prostitutes. I have more respect for the prostitutes than for you. Trust me. That's famous and known for me alone. By now. They're making a comedy out of it. Using me. We find that repulsive too. They'll make things look rosy through me. We find that repulsive too. I'm not going to be sitting there and crying my eyes out, just like you do. I didn't get an A. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Where's my buildings that are empty? Oh, la, la, la. This is Scotland. Don't stay in Rome for retirements. That's intel. I can give you the basics. I'm not afraid to tell you, as ballerina, after my head was bashed in on those lines, who you are. and why it happened as it happened. The basics around the world and in the US. Because you seem to have missed all the flyings, 92, 92 and above, missed the runnings, 85, 85, that many motherfucking times, of me. And then the literal crawlies of me with the ass wipe. And you're callous enough, hateful enough to bring your ugliness to my face on my literal crawlies with your stalkers. We already knew this in high school. Why? Because we know what you are made of in the US. Hate and stupidity, void of beauty on the coastlines. Oh, we got the big one. Yes, you did. Unusual, isn't it? Cause celebre to one Disney around the world. To you, it's nothing. To the intel communities, it's beautiful empty buildings, no banks, no platforms. And that's all news on the news with the names. Because they know who you are. Now, considering that you want to have your fun, your version of fun, Gabor and the others had their fun. On the coastlines and with the baby. When you understand that the US is not only not perfect, but it's not a dream. You're not an American dream for anyone with half a brain to stay in this country after the rompicabeza. The empty buildings at La Sapienza and around the capital cities are mine in space sciences. And they will stay emptier with the others, with the Platinum House, Connected Dots Globals, until you learn that smashing the head of a girl like that on the coastlines is a little Haagish. Dirk van Dante. You want to add the Roman tribunal so that your girls can go around with their boyfriends and they're not only on drugs. You did it on purpose. In other words, my entire Disneyland existence, my sweet fairy tale, revolved around your smelly assholes, male and female, that hated me as Disneyland. Therefore, when the Roman tribunal was added as an extra for your own histories, avoids, apart from the CIA with the blunt hands looking at you like you're worthless, the CIA will put you fucking back to federal prison in a heartbeat and a lie if it could. They're looking at you for what you are. They're looking at a dead baby having to put up with you, and they know about the Roman tribunal as an extra. It could be billions of dollars for what we know, not just assistance for an economode, but it made you feel powerful inside. This is what they're saying about you, not about me. You see, if they bring back this Disney, there's a point in itself, separate from the parents. Okay? So you can say train, pool, and house, any name. Okay? So when Intel is killed that way on the coastlines, and you know already that the others are going to fall with her ages ago, you simply have losses. The J-Lo concept is something you don't like after the rompicabeza. And you saw it coming that many times. You saw the guys with her on the flyings and the runnings, even the chancellors and vice chancellors of those universities. You didn't care. Inner circles included, yes. Not of sports. Rings and all. They don't forget that. Why? Must have happened something. And the others continued without her. The pretenses are fantabulous, US. Especially the beautiful buildings that you did not reopen. Mine. As Dirk Kempen would say, your middle name is void, unfortunately, Maria. Mario. Now, the girl, of course, used to work on the coastlines and did other things on the flyings, 92, 92 and above. She had a suspicion, of course, of Fresno, because it's 92, 92 and above. Lara Quintesson, you're right. There is the runnings. Now, the amount of runnings on 85, 85 of that girl was insane. And now this. Now, they say I haven't changed an iota. Why? Probably because of Mermaid. Pass it on. The torture of the Platinum House. So, my buildings are empty, but they fell with me. That's it. It's that simple. It's as straightforward, especially after the wrong Piccadilly on the coastlines, as ABC for Disney by now. To know the knowledge of it. And there's wisdom beyond the ages, colloquially. Therefore, the reason they're disgusted by you, really, on all levels, is that if you do that many flyings around the world and that many runnings, and you love your parents more than your own life, and you have your head bashed in on the coastlines, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for that girl. Till today. As long as Mermaid happened. It doesn't grow on trees. It doesn't grow on microchips. Not the original Jamila's brain. And those buildings are mine. They stay empty. I didn't do cancer. Biomeds was in the lowlands, Alex Evans, Club of Rome. The Mr. Growth Gap or lowlands. You could see it coming. The fact that you are so bad inside made people feel something inside. That's why I'm a cool celeb, even if I'm Disney. That's why I came back this way. For you to hate this. And I'm not afraid of you. I'm not. If I die again with your whores and assholes hating Disney, we will stick in a second hake. So your fun is going to be yours. All yours, US. Together with the losses. The Mermaid, Titanic, all news on the news. The nails and everything else. Inchangeable. Immutable. Irreplaçable. So when you speak about ugliness to me, when I'm 5 years old and I see that shit empty, think again. Around the world. About who you are. Not me. I'm simple. I'm so simple you guys as Disney. I can't go on the win. Diana to Camilla. I got problems with that alone. Yes, I do. And so do they. Many others. They find it repulsive. And the stalkers even more. They have nothing to do with Disneyland either. Now, I'm sorry. That's not the hanging benches of Laura Quintus and Nanny Direct, defending both parents. That many flyings of me, that many runnings of me, and that many dead crawlies of me. And remember, I was not alone on the coastlines, and the parents had a lot more sand than you think to Fresno on their retirements. Considering that the nurses, the tits and ass, the hospital, the shootout trail on Harvard High School, your boyfriend, how you do 6 years in your ass, Vietnam, la 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 la, kill but la. You are not getting what they're trying to say to you that many times, even within the US. Therefore, either you're retarded and you need a dead baby to tell you this, or you are just a bunch of haters. Because you will never reopen my buildings after you smashed that girl's head in on the coastlines. I'm a genetic graft of that girl. Nails. All news on the news. Those buildings, 221, have scientists with platinum hairs. After the smashed head of her buildings that are empty, those guys will say, vice-chancellors, chancellors, flyers and runners. In Intel, what a line of work that was. It's waste phenomena on the coastlines. So you can feel about smashing the original girl's head in on the coastlines. Goodbye. US, you claim you are the most intelligent and the best and the most beautiful. I'm 49, 50 years old, and the candle in the wind did enough crawlies and little crawlies out of Fresno on the retirements of the parents, connecting the both groups, of course, for itself. And I only have 147 to 221 left. I will not be reborn. The pinky will not come back. Disney doesn't come back. You have 147 to 2-1 to make Roman for Rome happen. Still, you see? And you should have done something in Fresno long ago. You know what? The space bomb. You could say son of a bitch, take out the O and just say SP. A run-on sentence SP. Yeah. Without the comma or the full stop between SP. Because after some time it becomes extremely dangerous to have that many flyings. 92 and above. With the hanging benches of Lara Quintus and I direct. That many runnings. That's around the world's 85. In your country too. You missed all of that. You missed even the big put lost on the coastlines. Who gives a shit? Bitch is dead. Hurt her with the Roman. So your ass became no coming back just for the extra. You are the extras, not me. You are the federal prisoners in LA that come from Fresno, in Frisco, at the Dolores shelter. You didn't even make it to high school. Don't tell me that I didn't make it to high school. Send an asshole from Fresno as a headmaster, Philip Allen in Rome. Everyone's saying it's a fucking charade. This guy could be killed in a split second. Keep your friends close and your enemies close. I was only 13 to 14 to 15 years of age. I may be innocent. I may be incapable because I'm Disney. But connected off globals, I did. Those guys have plum hairs. The nails have been there. 221 buildings with plum hairs have been all over the world. With the plum hairs. Shit, man, you had your head bashed in. Those are your fucking buildings. The new shit in space sciences, that's no fucking microchip. You had your head bashed in on the coastlines, these whores and all that. Shit, they even had them cheap-ass Alex 7 lowlands. Clubberoo. Bio and Echo. Some cheap-ass cancer and biomats that's empty. Algeria, Poland, Litva, Tunisia. So this is it. These are your losses. I'm not surprised they did Mermaid with that girl or Titanic, all the news on the news around the world. Globals. I'm not. Including the CIA with the plum hairs. You see, darling, it's not so easy to kill that kind, is it? You don't get away with it so fast. Not if you have chancellors and vice chancellors and schools and UN and empty buildings around the world because one girl died with her head bashed in on the coastlines. You don't get that, US. We're not giving you that. Not even the Opus Dei is giving you that in Rome. And I'm not religious. I wasn't religious before. Maybe now I need all the fucking religions. All I can tell you is this. You shit. You shit, all of you. The knocks, the whole bunch of you. You cannot control your feelings. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because you never did shit in your own lives. You never did shit in your own lives. And the dead Disney did more than you. So when she's what? 49.50, you have to send in the Dolores shit. It's a HUD. It's a different part of town. Church run. My ass. I don't even a church. You don't see what they're doing with us in Intel. You don't see how they are gathering the federal prisoners. You already have a record in federal prison. I don't. I don't have your record, shithead. Shitheads. Mademoiselles. I don't need the stalkers. They can sue your ass, the kingdom coming back just with the Roman tribunal as extras. Back off, animals. Or they will do something. And believe me, to put you back to federal prison, to give you more drugs and narcotics, your entire lives, your families, takes nothing for the guys. Nothing. You know what they're actually showing with the Disneyland? Do you know what they're showing about California? Do you understand now what Disneyland represents? Or are you going to be looking at the empty buildings and the beautiful shit and those guys with platinum has Nobel Prizes saying, shit, that's empty because of her. And I was with her after her. I fell with her. Insane jealousy. Insane. When people used to say to me, in Rome, in the gym and other places, these girls and boys are fucking insanely jealous of you. Alex Evans is insanely jealous of crying. They were saying the truth, weren't they? The insane jealousy towards that girl when you smashed her head in on the coastlines. No consequences. You don't look at consequences. You have pretenses for the guys falling with her. You're insane. You're fucking insane. And I, who am in bits and pieces, falling off like a shadow of myself, dust off me, after the Rompicabezza at Disneyland can tell you this shit in 80 countries and 25 states, connected to dots globals with 14722 to 1 left. That's Disneyland, that baby. In intel and that capacity, and that perspective. I have 14722 to 1 left. That's Disney. You kill me here, we're sticking a second Hague. We will sue you billions with the Roman tribunal for this cheap stunt. Keep away from me. And that's only high school because you didn't get to connect the dots globals. And that's separate from the parents. That's not mentioning the hanging benches of Laura Quintus and Ali Direct, that many flyings, that many runnings, and that many crawlies of me, electro crawlies. Around the world and here, on their retirements in Fresno. Goodbye. No. Keep your haters and keep your stupid people to yourself. Because the more stupid shit you have in your country, in the US on purpose, the more you pay. What the fuck do you think they send it back? Again, Multifrutti thing. Stay in Rome for retirement. Scott Glanville. Therefore, there are people who actually are thinking a little bit. I'm not saying, and beyond, do that. No. Those jobs, no. They're saying something else. They're saying stay out. It happened, bust. It won't change it. This, with those guys, with all those buildings empty, of that girl, it ain't changed. The new shit's out. You want to break space? You go ahead. That girl did, she died. Those buildings are hers, they're empty, and that's all news on the news. Fuck off. Some cancer and biomeds in the lowlands, fatete. I'm out. Because I really don't want to do Nigeria either. But, whatever. Che fregatura colossale. We can look rosy. Alla Romana. This is bad in itself. So, going back to the intelligence of Fresno and the fame of Fresno, together with those who live there, this is who you are. Now, the reason the veterans and the retired people around the capital cities are my ass wiped, especially the literal one, when I'm a caregiver, in Germany, in Rome, in London, in Russia, in Cairo, Saudi Arabia, even those I don't, I'm not a caregiver there, although, and the East Coast. The reason they side with me is because I've seen fire and I've seen rain. The fuck is this shit? Oh, TT, nurses, this. What is this? People have gone through hell and back, survived. They're sitting there in their retirement, looking at this shit like, oh, the fucking ass bitch. I was taking care of the grandmas of Lester Wolf et al., the puppy dicks, private of Tom and Jerry Darritals. He bought the house, he did, by force. I didn't get my house for 4 years. 3 years. And when I did get it, it was under my name. I had to go move my shit from storages. Kango was international to run. That takes nothing. You are ugly. Ugly. And I cannot compare my personal experience with yours because I had the Rompicabezza on the coastlines. I came back like Disneyland. I swiped it to one. This is stupid times. They claim. It is. The higher the price of intel, the higher the intel, the more the loss on the coastlines. That's the J-Lo concept. But it's old as the oldest concept of intel. Kleiner work. Phenomenal. Look at the father and the mother. Look at their jobs. They were good. Their peoples loved them. Even Woolwich by extension. The Italians liked them very much. The calm, steady individuals. Not like you. And I'm dead. Obviously, I'm not steady. Candle in the wind. So, do me a favor after all the abuse from the Disneyland. If you get sued by just the Roman tribunal as extras, you fucking smelly ass extras, and you have some psychophantal cranium over there, don't be surprised that shootouts, beat ups, and all shit and suicide cases for them. Because I'm no suicide, even with all that pain. You ugly inside. That even the CIA has the plot mess, and those buildings are empty. Go celeb. See it coming. Presidents still, their kids, growing up, even in high school and shit, I got this disease, I got that cancer, I got I got this, I got that. It's your fault because you're dead. Shit, you don't have brain cells, rub together in high school. At least, they were decent with me. Not like you disgusting whores that you sent on purpose from Fresno. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the famous story of the space phenomenon of 221, shut down in history, including the Opus Dei, who just looked at it and said, I'm really sorry, but we have losses. Forget about numbers, 221, done in time and all. She was born and raised here. Lara Quintus was born and raised here, and Ali Direct, many internationals, many Americans born abroad. We're not going to play your game. We're not going to play the retarded game. We know what we're doing, even with Disney. Goodbye.